Ladies and gents, welcome to CG Reaction, and this is the Roswell incident by the channel Internet Historian Incognito Mode. Yeah, we are talking about UFO now apparently. Yeah, this is another Internet Historian video. I love these videos. I reacted to quite a few of them. 30-40 videos from Internet Historian already, including the latest one. So if you haven't seen that, check them out. The playlist I've created for it is in the cards, Internet Historian Reaction. And there are other playlists too, like Salmonella, SCP, CGP Grail, Lamino, things like that. And yeah, Roswell incident. I think this was long time ago at some military base. This happened where there was apparently it was some kind of a missile that was fired horizontally. There was a video about it. I don't know. I used to watch that show. I know, but I was a kid called Fact or Faked. I know that was a weird show. Now I think about when I was a kid, I used to watch that. So in that video, they were, all testing out what could it be, how could it be a hoax or something like that. So it was some kind of a missile thing that was fired left side, and it just in that video it was just fire that was looking like a disc or something like that. I don't know. Then some military came out and said that yeah, we have this saucer, we contacted local authorities, we have this some saucer kind of things. Then they changed their statement, then they changed their statement again, and in the end they said something about it being some kind of a secret thing that they were doing or something like that. I don't know detail about it, but they changed statements so many times, and that makes people like, should we believe that statement, things like that. Alright, let's watch this one.
This evening we're going to explore the story that almost everyone gets wrong. There are hundreds of feature-length documentaries on the subject, and all of them are a waste of your time. Hundreds of feature-length documentaries on the subject.
These are documentaries? Okay. Of course History Channel is involved, of course it is. The guy with do this. That meme is awesome.
And all of them are a waste of your time, because this is the true story of the Roswell incident. The story begins before the crash in 1947. It begins with a scientist, Professor Maurice Ewing, who is helping the US military develop new weapons and tools in the Second World War. So he discovers one thing, and he invents another. His specialization...
Oh god, yeah. I long ago I remember watching... Was it a Dark 5 video? Channel Dark 5? I don't know which one it was, but there was a video where I saw lots of weapons were developed during the World War II and even the Cold War times, but they were never used and they're put aside in some kind of a warehouse now since everything stopped. But people came with really heavy enough of weapons. Obviously not at the scale of the nuclear weapons, but different type of sonic weapons and God knows what kind of radiation weapons. I need to react to one of those videos as well. That's just ridiculous how many creative weapons people created.
Is in oceanography. Important to the military because they want to be able to detect submarines in local waters and develop more sophisticated versions of their own. The discovery is the sound channel. I'll explain why this is important, just stay with me. It turns out that there's this spot at about 1,000 feet deep in the ocean where the salinity, temperature, and density of the water prevents sound waves from being able to easily carry either up or down. So instead, they travel much further horizontally without dissipating. Why is this important or interesting?
What the fuck? I didn't know about that. How the hell I didn't know about that? But yeah, that makes sense. The pressure, temperature just has to be perfect in that instance. So, waves goes horizontally. That is awesome, man. So this way they could, travel long distances. Otherwise they would have. I mean, the, volume and area just reduced.
Well, it means that large disturbances underwater at this precise depth can be heard for thousands of miles away if using the right equipment. So Maurice starts thinking about the practical applications, and he comes up with an invention. He calls it a SOFAR sphere. Here's an example of how it works. Let's say you're a pilot fighting the Japanese over the Pacific Ocean. You're momentarily distracted and your plane goes down. Well, now you're bobbing around in the middle of the ocean and nobody knows where you are.
I think I saw one of the Laminos videos. I think it was about that TikTok UFO thing. I think it was that video where he talked about certain detection things that they put in under the sea that could detect all different type of vibration. No, wait a minute. I think that was the crash flight video. I don't know. So I think that's what he's talking about here. They put some kind of detectors, under the sea to detect, movement. So if something crashed, they could detect it.
You are. What do? Well, you reach into your survival kit and drop a SOFAR sphere. Think of it like a pocket-sized depth charge, except without the explosives. It has no moving parts, no electronics. Instead, it's very precisely calibrated so that when it sinks to 1,000 feet, it implodes. The sound waves carry a couple of thousand miles to the shoreline, where they've installed a bunch of underwater microphones. Then, using some basic trigonometry, you can compare the time it takes for the sound to hit one mic from another to triangulate where the sound came from. And like that, you suddenly know where your downed pilot is.
Yeah.
But before it was able to be used, the war ended and the device was shelved. Although, Professor Ewing was kept on the military payroll because a whole new conflict was ramping up, the Cold War. The concern here was missiles and nuclear weapons, so attention shifted from the ocean to the atmosphere. So he thinks, wait a minute, if there's a sound channel in the ocean, maybe there's one in the sky too. Turns out there is, at 155,000 feet.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So, if there's a large sound,
Water is fluid, air is fluid, so yeah, obviously there would be. That's something, man. I love this. This is the kind of thing that makes me really interested in all fields of science. Look at this, the things that we could do. In the Cold War time, I think the weapons that were mostly developed were chemical, biological weapons, and then they were, I think, put aside. I mean, I think USA was saying that they are developing this so they could develop antidote to it or something like that. They were justifying like that. Russians weren't really justifying anything. I don't know if they were making it or not, but yeah. So basically, the lots of biological, chemical weapons, things like that were developing, and that just scares me, man. Because natural biological, viruses like we have today is nothing compared to the man-made biological weapons that they created. These viruses. So if a natural virus like this could fuck up the entire world and lock down everywhere. The past year has been just fucking horrific. It's just ridiculous. The massive cities has been ghost town just because of this. Imagine if some man-made virus gets out. I mean, that would be just end of it. That would be like, Black Death, but in modern times. That's just ridiculous.
Let's say, a nuclear explosion in Russia, you should be able to hear that all the way in the United States if you have a bunch of microphones set up at this height. That means you know the exact location, time, and potential power.
Yeah, but at that time Russians were experimenting with hydrogen bombs like Tsar Bomba. Tsar Bomba, detonated and people literally felt it throughout the Europe at long distances. Vibrations. That's how ridiculously powerful it was. You didn't need detectors for that.
Of every single above-ground nuclear test being conducted by your enemy, well before you had anything like satellite technology. They called this Project Mogul. It was a series of high-altitude weather balloons with sensitive microphones attached. In 1947, one of them fell from the sky and crashed down in a rancher's backyard, and some people with large imaginations said it was aliens. The military said it was a weather balloon. Then there were some conflicting reports, and people said it was a cover-up. Well, of course there was. It sure beats having the Russians find out about this technology. In the following decades, better ways of detecting nuclear tests were invented, primarily seismographers, and the sound channel fell out of use. In 1992, following the fall of the Berlin Wall, all of this...
Hold up there, but in the official report, military said that we were in touch with, local authorities, and we got, an identifying saucer or something like that. They didn't say it was aliens or UFO or something like that. We found some kind of a saucer. Then they changed that statement. Then they changed the statement again. That happened 2-3 times, and then they said it was a balloon and things like this. So I mean, I don't know, man. That just, I mean, obviously it makes sense that if nobody wants to say any of the secret projects they are doing, so enemies don't hear about them. That's why Area 51 is a thing. People say, why is Area 51 so hush, nobody knows about anything, what's going on there? Military projects that people don't, US military don't want other people to find out. I mean, so yeah, you could think that there's aliens there, but these things make sense as well. But that changing of statement, I don't know, man.
Information became declassified, and since it has been totally available for the public to read.
Yeah.
And that is the story of Roswell. No
Yeah.
aliens, just a weather balloon and a bunch of microphones. Good night.
Yeah.
By the way, you can find a longer version of the story from a lecture by Dr. Richard Muller from UC Berkeley. He does a really interesting lecture series that you can still find on.
Yeah, I mean, to this, look, I'm, one of the, more skeptic guys whenever I hear about anything. But that doesn't mean anytime I hear something like that can't be UFO, that can't be alien, I don't do that. In this case, their changing of statement just leave me in the middle. I mean, I can't say it's alien, but I'm not so sure about their, the report that they gave. Because I'm sure all of this would have happened, but did that happen during the Roswell incident, or they just, found some incident and just used that as an excuse and something else happened? I'm not saying alien happened, something else could have happened too. I mean, some other kind of weapons that the US doesn't want people to find out even today. Who knows? So yeah. Alright, that was the Roswell, and I like how internet students should do more of this, UFO, alien, and this kind of, mystery type of things. I love that. Mostly his specialty is stupid events that happen, like 4chan get involved and something like that, and those are obviously fun. Some cruise ship, latest one we reacted to, we saw the cruise ship got stupidly crashed because the captain was a moron. So yeah, things like that is internet historian specialty, but I hope he does more things like this. Yeah, I'm gonna react to his, I don't know, I want to react to his secret channel that he's saying, but I don't know if I should or not, because he doesn't want people to find out. I mean, yeah, I don't want to be the one that makes a video about, because his videos don't get much of views. He doesn't have much of subscribers, so which means people really don't know that that's his channel, even though his voice is just unmistakably internet historian, but still people still don't know about that channel. I mean, you'd think that if people find out that internet historian channel, subscribers count would blow up, views would blow up, but it's not. So yeah, alright, that was Roswell incident. Alright people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction I did, there's a link in the description. Check out the cast for the playlist, check out the end cards, and yeah, I'll see you next time.